Yeah, and this is one of those situations where, yeah, you kind of have to alpha up on Dooms and win the match if you really want to get into that guaranteed top 15. And Benji just putting in work with the burst rifle, the 2-tap coming through, going to be able to pick up Noah Riley there. And honestly, I want to see more of this stuff from Benji, Lechy, and Savage, where they're going aggressive onto the opponents and trying to kind of cycle out those 1v2s and those 1v3s. I think they're the slightly better pair if they go aggressive right away. However, they usually aren't doing that, and that's given Rezon and Co the opportunity to spread out a little bit more and get control of the vault. However, the 3 points here, we'll see if it's enough to keep them in contention, because again, they're about 25 points off of the pace to qualify right now. That's the victory royale, plus whatever eliminations they can get in. So it would take a whole lot, but they're more than capable of doing it.
And Jatu, Paco, and Advise are that 5% chance of walking away with the #1 spot here in week 1. They have an opportunity to do that, but they definitely have to get the victory royale. Toos right now, Browner and Tomsy are trying to change their stars, and you could go ahead and cue the Duel of Fates right now, because this is going to be an opportunity that if they come out on top here, they'll be able to qualify, but they're going to have a long road ahead of them. But you got to start somewhere. You got to put one foot in front of the other, and Toos, Browner, and Tomsy, who have not had a strong opportunity out of Steamy Stacks, look like they decided to pull down south just a little bit and push the team down in dirty docks, and that might be a fruitful opportunity, because right now this squad going into this fight 20th place with only 67 points, and the team that we saw there that took that rip of Stormy Wright, Rotary, and Kiriachi right ahead of them, right behind them actually by a couple of points. So we're seeing the bubble teams kind of dedicatedly, making sure the bubble doesn't burst right now in the early game, Sundown.
Yeah, and a huge shot coming out there with the charge shotgun. Gets the wall replaced, but now you're going to actually see a key weakness of the charge shotgun. In these wall-to-wall fights, you have very little initiative. Even if you get the wall, you're reliant on the opponent pushing in and taking the fight against you, which is a mistake against Toos. This you can't catch yourself off of. It makes it that much harder, and if you rely on the zip lines, all these players are good enough to focus you, and right now, Sammy, Kajui, and Dennis trying to focus in on this fight. They are above the Storm Surge threshold, so the onus isn't really on them to be taking this, but they want the elimination points that come with it. They've had a great second day, and that snipe into the immediate swap was fantastic. Knowing that Storm Surge is in play right now, he's trying to close the gap and get one of those maximum finishes onto the player. He has both the pump and the snipe. He's looking to try and find the finish. They have it there. They're throwing him away. They should shake down and then put a snipe into this. A pump will be not awful, but okay, they get the 2 AR tags as well. Still not all the way over the top, but they've done enough damage to where it shouldn't be too much of a threat for them. The other team is going to look to disengage, and Browner saying, nope, we want no part of that anymore.
Round 2, Leslie had essentially a semifinals type vibe here, and now you're in round 3. Man, I just cannot believe that you're going to go down just a couple of points and risking it by changing up your POI, and that is why the full retreat is on, and that is why Browner is doing all that he can just to hold on for his trio, and it's not enough. He gets knocked. Luckily, there's one more up, but no, this is not looking good, Sundown. Not at all for Toos.
I mean, but the story of the day has been the Lone Ranger antics, and Toos takes the storm fight, says this is what we do best, pushes forward, gets the siphon when he needs it, gets a tag on the Kujui as well, getting some help over on the side. That's the second one he's going to convert on, and that was Nakors? Who was over there? Was that a secondary? I think, unless I missaw that. Dennis going down again there, and another siphon coming through, and all of a sudden, Toos making the plays he needed to make. He's getting some help over on the side. Kujui finally there to Will Powell going down in 21st. So some heroic efforts to get the last couple elimination points, but with so many placement points still on the table, 21 trios remaining, 59 players left. His odds of making that top 25 or top 15 are slim to none. Now hopping on board here, Mr. Savage, you can see nice little body shot snipe coming through. Will they be able to pick it up? They do get the down in the conversion right away. Bomb comes out. Can they close the gap and pick up the Dutch trio?
And it's going to be one of those endings that's going to be scary. We're not in the half and a half out yet. We're about to get there. We're in zone 4, but the zone 4 is half on Stark Industry, half off of it. Right then and there, and considering that there's so many people like Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage, who are on that cusp, on the border of not qualifying, it's going to be a big time fall from grace for them right now. And the question is, if they do not qualify, Does this squad stick together for the remaining weeks? We all know that EU, they kind of solidify all that as Lecce picks up a big one, and Lecce is going to be that part of the trio, Sundown, that has a lot to prove. Already, Benji Savage, really well decorated. Lecce coming in as all those people have basically a lot of pressure on him to kind of pull through and compete at the same level as his decorated duo.
I mean, Lecce's been around the block a number of times. He's no stranger. I think he very much so belongs in this pair, with this pairing in this trio. I think he makes a lot of sense for them. I think they just need to game plan a little bit stronger together, honestly. But right now, as we come down to the final moments, we're going to spend a lot of time focusing on that top left and seeing when we see full eliminations, when players go down, and the key names from the players who are in that top 4 and the top 5 and the ones who are on the bubble. As right now, we see that half in, half out zone, and it's about 95% on top of Stark, which, if anything, is okay. But if that next zone pulls down into the right, we're in for a whole bunch of fun. And I say that in a real sarcastic way. It is one of the roughest zones for the players. They're forced to use all of their utility just getting up kind of that sheer space. And that's why you see them right now getting so much priority on this outside southern part of the zone, because it's the easiest to rotate off of. And if you can establish a route back down, it should theoretically be the one place where players look to retake. And right now they're trying to secure some space over on the side.
And you know, these are the things that the people that kind of land in Stark Industries, the Mitros, the Mongrels, they're going to have a strong advantage. As right now, a high team right now, a new star into the trio scene, Vettel, Steer 6, and iDrop lose Vettel right there, and a big time beams from Benji. So the old guard is trying to hold on and not let the newcomers take the stage, but it's still Benji's, Lecce, and Savages are still in danger of not qualifying, so they got work to do in front of them. So I'm wondering, where is Mitro, where is Mongrel and Tayson? They have that ability to hold height.
And as much as I want to see these teams on the bubble, Thomas HD's team has been popping off in the elimination feed, and they're the ones trying to close the gap and push in towards the top. I want to see a perspective of where they are and what they're doing to try and get in towards the top. They were 4th coming into this, but they've been the ones who have had the most amount of eliminations. And now with Nate going down as well, 4ZR gets an elim onto Anto. We need to see if those get confirmed. Right now you have Lecce pushing forward, picking up ADN, and we're into our placement thresholds as well. So full trios going down now will signify a point going across. 2 points for every trio who is left in the lobby, and it's all going to come down to this: whether or not these trios end up in the top 15 and who's able to take away the top spot. 4ZR seems to have defended off the down on Nate for now, but so many of the top dogs are still in this lobby, and right now we have Savage in the bottom right, Lecce in the top right, both of them setting up bouncer plays. As we see that full moving is staying on top of Stark, so avoiding the big drop off for now.
Yeah, and it is about to go down. Game 12 here. Placement points are doling out. Momentum is happening right now. Rotations are popping off. Elims are popping off in the feed. Mongrel, Anas picks up one. Nate goes down. iDrop goes down. So that is that trio completely out. A new star on a scene, like I mentioned, who was holding on to first place after day one. Hey, congratulations. You competed with some of the best, and at least you qualified in the top 15. But this story that we're watching right now is Lecce, Benji, Savage trying to do their best to get back into the top 15. After game 5, they were down by 20 points. So now it's the pedal to the metal. It is time, like Zeke said, do or get eliminated, and Lecce is putting on the eliminations right now with his backside control, being the fragger for Benji and Savage.
And he's the one who's patrolling the backside of the zone. You talked about it perfectly, but keep an eye on that top left as 4ZR is still up and on his feet. Cammy being taken over. That's a full elim coming out from Lecce, and a nice little bouncer combination, keeping the team mostly together. Lecce now up to 70 elims, 10 for the entire team as we close in the top 10. Really well done from them. 4ZR getting another elim right there. Savage also being able to clean it up. 4ZR getting the confirmation on there, but Savage closing the gap onto 4ZR. That'll be a full cleanup. Thomas HD still picking up eliminations in the feed. Anas finally going down as well. Thomas will finally be cleaned up going on there. You can see the rest of his trio going out there outside of that top 5. We have the Become Legends trio there, and right now Mongrel, Mitchell, and Tayson up on the high ground, but can Mr. Savage put the rest of the team on his back? Benji is still there with him, uses the shockwave to get together, uses a second shockwave to then just be ripped out of the sky from the high ground. Tayson sends his regard and says, good luck on the bubble. It's all down to Benji. He's in the bottom right, and you have Mitro in the top right trying to shut him down.
We have so many things developing. We have to become legends, trying to get the back-to-back, the first time done here on the grand stage right now. Mongrel, that answer has been answered. Where is he? He's at height right now, but the story is Benji. Can he clutch again? Who's able to clutch in the opens with 10 HP and a dream. Benji's ride can continue, or it could go down right now. On the outside, goes for a mega bounce. Does he get all the way to height? No, he gets very close to it. On your bottom right, Benji is cooking and going on all cylinders, but he's going up against the god tier squad right now, and Tayson is taking so much damage as this goes back up north, and now it's going to be a battle between Benji and Mongrel in his squad. Leo still holding out, but Benji gets eliminated as Mitro closes that door right now, and it is Leo all by himself. Mongrel, Mitro going toe-to-toe, the duo, and yes, getting the victory royale.
4ZR and Nate are the overall winners cumulative for week number 1. If you didn't know this, Reese made the prediction they would come out on top. This happened yesterday.
Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson winning off that game bumps them up straight to 7th. Very nice padding behind them. Advice surviving for one big game in game number 4 is they're at 8th. Past that, the 15th place team will be YZip